That's very strange, very uncanny.
He's still as tall as I am. And it's a pleasure to be casting with you for what's only our second or third match casting together.
Yes, we had some fun times at Gfinity, then there's been a long break, and now we're here again. It's Cloud9 and Bravado Gaming. Stuart, do you have some insight here? Can you predict the winner of this one?
I can predict Cloud9. I was watching them after the game, caught up with them as they were deep in thought. Let's just say, as you would expect, what happened to them against Hellraisers was a shock to the system. But here we go. The action's about to kick off. Why don't you take us away?
Shroud hiding inside the A-bomb site. Of course, we're on Cash, and that's a great start with Semphis picking up a headshot on Deviant. Going to throw out a couple of grenades, and actually Bravado putting on some pressure here. Running in. Ragnar is going to take the first kill on the Bravado side, but it's not going to be enough right now. Cloud9 massively coming out on top as Black Poison is going to be the only man left. Hiding inside the smoke by the forklift. He charges out, finds the first kill, but this is a really weird battle, and he's going to run out of bullets and will eventually get shot in the face right before he got stabbed, and that will put an end to the round.
So, yeah, looking at what Cloud9 did after that game, they went away, they got food, and they had what I think could only be described as the longest team huddle I've ever seen. Essentially, they got all the ghosts out of the system. It was, what on earth just happened to us? We felt confident going into this, and we just got punched in the face. So they need a confidence booster now. A big and easy score for them now will put them in great shape against Fnatic. But we'll see whether that is what shakes down as Nothing gets himself the first frag with the FAMAS. And Deviant will go down, and Sean Garris helps himself to 2 more. And this is as one would expect from Cloud9. Now, what's interesting to note, and you're up on the next game, Cloud9 like playing against Swedish teams, particularly Fnatic. This time last year at DreamHack, they performed well against them. They're about the only team that did. Remember, Fnatic went on to win that tournament. So there is reason for optimism for Cloud9 fans. You know, it is not all over. They like the hard road.
I agree. It can't be all over. You can't underestimate them. They've shown that time and again at these major tournaments that they actually have some ability to fight back when it really matters a lot. Now, I like what you said about, you know, Cloud9 potentially having an easy game. Are you suggesting in some way that Cloud9 are actually going to take all their frustration out on Bravado here and then go into the Fnatic match, you know, completely clear?
You would have to expect so, if it goes to their plan. But Bravado, who knows? You can't write them off just yet, but this could also be important when you consider that Fnatic and Cloud9 could go into that result needing round difference. You never know.
Well, Hiko with a good shot through the smoke there. Bravado obviously haven't seen too much from them yet because they've mainly been ecoing for the first 3 rounds of this game here, and it's going to be Hiko with some really good action at the end, picking up a triple kill. That's going to put us into the 4th round, and I think you're right, we can't underestimate Bravado, and it's pretty exciting that they're here again. It is a lot of fun seeing more and more teams from different parts of the world coming in and playing Counter-Strike. ESWC, obviously, we had another South African team in Energy, and we also had a Brazilian team coming over to play Kaboom. So we just need to spread the game around a lot. So we'll have to see now that they actually have rifles if they can, you know, have a bigger impact than they had against Fnatic earlier.
Well, the truth is we've been blessed in 2014 with probably the most competitive top tier of any top esport, where anyone can beat anyone. And that can only continue if we continue to grow the top tier. So really curious to see what Bravado can bring. And yeah, you mentioned we've seen some great teams come from all around the world this far. Sean Garris will poke his head out, get himself that frag onto Sent, and gets the favor returned back to him. But Deviant dropped by Semphis as Cloud9 take a man advantage out here. And Semphis is going to help himself to the 2nd. And Cloud9 now looking for Black Poison and Ragno to finish off this 4th round. And it is just Ragno left. He will go no further. Semphis picks up, I think he got 3 that round. And cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, I mean, even for part of that fight, it seemed like he was kind of caught in the open without any chance to get any real cover, and he still came out on top. So that was definitely very good on his part. I like the tiny detail with counter boosting into the middle vent. Didn't really have any effect on this round, but it's always nice to see a counter-terrorist team do that because it can be a powerful tool if used in the right round. And now Sean Guess picking up an auto sniper, which seems like it's adding insult to injury. I mean, Bravado are in an eco round here, and now they're going to run into the most hellish weapon of them all.
Can be a curse as well, though. The curse of the auto sniper. Not to be for Sean Garris, who picks up 1, 2. Oh, only going to get those two, and now is going to need backup and someone to pick up that gun for him, which I'm sure Semphis will happily do.
How does Semphis have a Glock in this round? He's on the CT side.
Well, there it is, used to perfection as well. 5-0. What would you do differently on Bravado? Give us kind of the 101 in terms of you going up against a great team on Cash.
Oh, yeah, it can be a little bit tough. We saw actually when they were playing on Mirage that they managed to pick up the AWP on Scent, and I'm pretty sure he landed some good shots with it. So that might actually, they're going to pick up 2 of them, which actually a bit of a surprise. But this is a map where you can get great pickups with the AWP, and especially against an auto sniper. The AWP is obviously, you know, one-shot kill. So if you could just get in and get that pickup really fast, and once you know where it is as well, you're not doing too badly. Right now it's in the middle, so if they scout out where it is first, maybe they can win that fight, and that would be a nice way to start. I don't mind that they play a slow picking game here. I think that's a reasonable choice because rushing on Cash is very hard. You can do it at the B-bomb side, not so much at the A-bomb side.
Let's see what Bravado have in their locker. So Sean Garrison is auto sniper that lie in wait. First of those 2 AWPs is right around that corner. Not sure if they've rattled any shots off in Vane just here. We don't have the best sound in our headsets to know whether they fired anything off from those 2 AWPs to have sounded that alarm. Got a very tentative opening 45 seconds.
A little bit slower than I had imagined, actually. Deviant is going to go down. It was a nice attempt, and nothing follows up with a good headshot on Black Poison, who carried one of the AWPs, so already a big economic loss here. Shroud just grinding up against that plank that's slightly tilted there. You can do that, sort of just peek over where the container is, not a bad idea. And Shroud just buying time, waiting for backup to come in all the way at the back here. 20 seconds left now. Well, this looks like the terrorist team isn't even going to get into a bomb site here. They just get shut down on the very perimeter. So not as successful as I had imagined. Cloud9, it didn't seem like they ever gave them a chance to pick anyone off. They weren't peeking until it was over.
Really nicely done from Cloud9. This is what they needed. They're taking their opponents, 100% serious. They're here for a clean win and a confidence booster as they prep for the big one against Fnatic. Now, from Bravado's perspective, they came a long way, and they didn't come a long way to play just 2 maps of Counter-Strike. They will want more from this, and they'll be angry that their AWP strat didn't pull off. They've an opportunity to remedy that this time around, and a full arsenal of nades to aid them in executing their strat. And let's see, it's going to be Bravado with Black Poison to pick up the first frag. Semphis may be caught a little bit too confident pushing out through that smoke, and now nothing is going to have to be charged with leveling up the scoreboard.
He's waiting inside, and it seems like Bravado are setting up for a bit of a planned execute where they have the smokes ready to throw in from outside here. So actually, normally we'd see Molotovs being thrown in, but smokes can work too. Nothing will pick up. They line up, and Detroni and Deviant are already gone. Nothing going to come charging in. Picks up a third one, goes for the quad kill. Hiko steals it at the end, but that was a pretty powerful performance. In spite of Bravado obviously having put some thought into that round, you can see they have a setup. They even got that entry frag, and it still wasn't enough. Nothing
against Hellraiser's. I mean, it didn't contribute what you would expect from him. He is the flair player. He's the one that, in football you'd say you want to give the ball to and see what he can do. And he's not offered that in that game. He needs a big round. Sean had a good game from a losing team's perspective. That was about it. It's the only positive light that came out of that performance.
That has to change once they hit Fnatic. Definitely, I mean, I would say the strongest team in the tournament. So you can't get caught sleeping at that point. Black Poison using the C-set 75, and obviously right now Bravado have lost 7 rounds in a row, and they're ecoing here. So I mean, picking up anything at this point is definitely good news.
With Semphis, who's about to get himself the first glimmer of Black Poison and returns the favor from that last round where Black Poison dropped him first man out of the gates. And we're leveled up at 4-on-4. Yes, coming on to the end of Sean Garris's AWP will be Rakno, and he's going to look for the second coming out of the door. Hasn't quite edged out of there just yet, but Shroud has himself the next frag. And there we go, Sean Garris will finish off the job with his CC, and that will be another round. Cloud9 looking good.
Yeah, So far, it seems it's been a confidence-building experience here for them now. I mean, the only full group that I can see, the only problem that could come out right now is maybe, Cloud9 are feeling confident playing against Bravado, but then playing against Fnatic is a different tier. So they can't get too used to everything going just their way. I mean, I don't expect them to have an 8-0 start against Fnatic. So I'm sure they're not going to fall into that. Like you said, they had a long group huddle outside, so I'm sure they've gone over everything. And I think you're right. They are respecting Bravado. We're not seeing them running around with knives and showing off shotguns and just having fun. They're really making sure that they get the maximum out of this game.
Now, your thoughts on that Fnatic team? How are they in terms of their togetherness? Obviously, a lot said about them, and then that performance against Hellraisers. They will be under immense pressure.
Yeah, they really will be. And I mean, there were some worrying signs, I think, on the Fnatic team. Normally, when Fnatic have been struggling a little bit, it's been maybe because it's been mainly Crimson and Olofmeister carrying the show. This time it was JW just doing immensely well. So, I mean, I think Olofmeister and Crims need to wake up a little bit here.
Back to Bravado, who post-pause are ready to go. Nothing in his AWP combined to drop Scent as Deviant makes his way out and towards mid. There's nothing there for him. Semphis has himself the next frag onto Black Poison as he continues to exchange in that duel with him. But 2 frags on the board for Bravado, but only 1 player left standing. And it's Detroni up against 3. What does he have in his locker? Sean Garris's bullet is the answer.
A bit of a faster round for the South African team here, which is hard. It's really hard to play those fast rounds. If you really want to do it, there is a way to smoke off the center or the middle, and then actually have 3 people pushing towards the B-bomb site, and then the last 2 people who are in the middle, they go through the vents, and then you hope that you're going to catch someone in the checkered room. But if the CTs are holding further back, that strat won't be as effective. But Cloud9 have been holding, and you can actually see one guy heading down there. I think that's Hiko. So if you do this strat, Hiko maybe could get caught, and that could be an opening, but nothing. Surprised to see him opening to begin with, and he's actually landing the shots as well.
Yeah, lovely hit from Jordan there. And 9-0 Cloud9 at the moment. They are flying. And a big opportunity for nothing, and he takes it. 2 frags for this round, and only 15 points of health has it cost him. Let's see what the Bravado side have. They're going to line up 2 men over at A. First man is Detroni, who will just open up. It's been Sean Garris in there most of the time. Let's see if he's the man there. No, it's not. It's Shroud who's on the other side of that wall. And that Molotov will just deter the next move from Detroni.
The bomb is all the way back at the B-bomb side, and it's not so long before Hiko is going to actually end up spotting it or end up spotting Ragnar, which means his push over here is essentially going to be nullified very quickly if that happens. Bit of a failed flashbang there, and now things are looking really ugly as Hiko's about to walk right into Ragnar. The timing is going to be perfect, and that's the bomb with 25 seconds. That's an automatic win.
But they'll be fuming about it because they got the 2 frags. Oh, sorry, they got all the frags over on the A site. It was waiting for them, but neglected the all-important purpose of this game.
I mean, it would be funny if it wasn't also very tragic for Bravado, because they had such a good chance to win this. And Hiko, he can claim victory just by sitting in a corner like this with a smoke grenade as well. Time runs out, and then Detroni goes down, which is the worst possible thing. This is really adding insult to injury, because now he won't get the loss bonus. You can see him at very, very low money, and he also dies, so he doesn't save the rifle.
Bravado can't get the rub of the green, and Cloud9 answering back up. And we're going to see a replay of Nothing's AWP shot. No, we're not. And it's 10-0 in favor of Cloud9, who just going through the motions at the moment.
Deviant having a rough game on his hand as well as 0-0-10. So he hasn't actually killed anyone yet in the first 11 rounds here, and that can happen sometimes, but obviously at this stage, you'd want it to be the game where you're having the game of your life here. As Deviant comes up with a kill on to Semphis, so you just have to call him out, and he delivers. Good job.
Commentator's curse, kind of the other way around. That 1 kill is not changing the tides as Sean Garris returns the favor back onto Detroni, and there's only 3 men left standing for the South African Bravado Gaming. Ragno returns in onto Sean Garrison. I'm going to throw out a train of thought to you on the value that Bravado bring to this in just a second.
Well, seconds is all that's left for Bravado at this point, 30 of them. Black Poison. I mean, if he could have got an entry frag over there, that could have weakened the defense over here. But now Shroud is going to stay put, of course, and he hears them coming in. He can try and watch right at the edge of the smoke, but he's going to run around and catch the opening kill there on Ragno, leaving it to Deviant on 4 health, and he can't even make it out. So no chance at all here, Stuart.
So here's the train of thought.
Yes.
Bravado likely to go out after this result, unless something crazy happens. Vox, also historically, not been able to get out, despite being truly lovely guys. Would the places that the rest of world teams take be better served by a additional North American team or a further middle-tier European team who may have that opportunity to rise through the ranks quicker? Or do you see the international flavor being something that we need to cultivate if it's to become a bigger game as, say, LoL or Dota?
Yes, the latter of what you just said, I would agree with it. I think it's a long-term investment from a community point of view at that point, and it will take a while. But there is a lot. Now we're talking about the South African scene. I know the Indian scene is still alive, the Brazilian scene is still alive. The really big one is the Asian scene that we really, really need to get into. And once that happens, no doubt it will be a worthwhile investment. And then eventually we can just up the scale of the majors. There's no reason we only have 16 teams. We could just put more teams in.
Here we go. It's going to be Shroud to see action here as there are Bravado players dancing through the smoke, and they're all on top of the site. It's a bit of a free-for-all in there. Black Poison first frag, but Semfis delivers a double. Make that a triple for Cloud9. Bravado finally puts him out of his misery, but it's just Detroni left standing, and he is standing anymore. Cloud9 pick up round number 12. To go back to that conversation in terms of the international scene, if you think of, events like IEM that take place in South America and in Asia, they have to have a game that's relevant to those scenes. So perhaps that's why. Brazilian scene is the one that, given the legacy that teams like Made in Brazil have from 1.6, you would expect it to come back. But it looks like games like Crossfire and whatnot have taken over that mantle.
Yeah, and we're competing with the same games, Counter-Strike Online as well in the Asian scene. A lot of the games down there, they end up playing a free-to-play, which makes a really big difference. So I'd actually be all in favor of making a special Asian version of the game that was free. I wouldn't even care if we still had to pay for it in the rest of the world. I just want those people to start playing again. Bravado, I mean, they obviously do need, they need to step up their level a little bit here. They are playing a really strong team in Cloud9 who are out for vengeance. They don't want to exit the group either. And currently at 12-0, it's looking overwhelming. I think we've had a couple of rounds where there's been a chance, but one of them was that truly tragic one where Hiko ended up just playing hide and seek in a corner and winning all of it.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a whimper from Bravado, who will find themselves in a... Oh, this wasn't the... they would have gone to sleep last night with dreams of picking up rounds, dreams of winning. And unfortunately, that is what it's consigned to. A dream only. The reality is very harsh. Oh, and there's Matt Adams, the man cracking the whip for Cloud9. He's a hard taskmaster.
Well, I mean, he's going to get a chance to do that today, isn't he? I hope he's brought it with him, because I think against Fnatic, it's going to be a different story. This is a really good wall playing from Shroud. It's a nice little detail. But you saw the way Sean Gers actually went hunting for kills. So we started off this cast talking about how Cloud9 were showing signs that they were respecting Bravado. I think that respect is slowly fading, and now they're starting to feel like it's fine. We've got this. We're back into it, which is all right. But, also, again, got to be careful that mentality doesn't somehow carry on over into the Fnatic game. That can't happen.
So, 13-0. Got to give some credit, actually. Very rarely does someone keep the score at 0. Normally, their concentration slips for a minute. And right on cue, Sean Garrett does drop Semfis, who has not let up at all in this game. He's going to do the dance. It's just 25 points of health. It's all kicking off elsewhere, though. Shroud gets in on the action, has to be bailed out by Nothing making his way over towards that A site, but Black Poison has it, and no sooner did we compliment Cloud9 for keeping that 0, they're in real danger of losing it. So Black Poison will go down, and it's going to be 14-0.
It's definitely one of the rounds where they get a little bit closer, where there is a real chance for them to break through, and that's important because if that's what we had to look at right now. I mean, we don't have any rounds where they've won them, so we can't talk about that. Obviously, we need to talk about the rounds where they get close, and this was one of them. A big chance for them to get into the bomb site, but they never got the bomb down, so they just kept on finding nothing in that bomb site. They could have maybe picked him off, but he was just a little bit too fast, and that's what it comes down to a lot right now. It's just individual difference between the players, matching any one player on Cloud9 to any one player on Bravado, and the Cloud9 comes out on top, and that's hard to ignore.
Cloud9 gunning for 15. They go man for man as nothing hits the deck, with Sent also out. And now it'll be Semphis with a man behind him, and Ragnar will get it. And could this be the start of something special for Bravado? 3-on-3 as Hiko returns the favor and avenges the loss of Semphis. It'll be Hiko holding on to that B site. The bomb is isolated in the middle of the map, so they can pick it up and move it to wherever they feel comfortable. They lose Ragnar to Sean Garris, though, and now it's all falling apart for Bravado. Detroni's the last man up, 1 versus 3, and he is going to dispatch of Sean Garrison, give himself a fighting chance. As he's right by the bomb, has 40 seconds to play with. Shroud to defeat, and he won't get past him, and that will be 15-0 to Cloud9, and an embarrassment of riches for the Americans.
I mean, it's hard to take too much away from it. I had to read something into this first half here. I would say that there's a really positive sign for me that nothing is the one top fragging. I mean, he's at 19, and then it goes down to 18 for Semphis, 17 for Sean Gare, so it's not like it's a really big gap. But like I said earlier, for me, whenever Cloud9 do really well, it has to do with nothing. I think actually nothing has one of the highest skill ceilings in the world when it comes to playing this game. But he also has a really big sort of, his skills also land within a wide spread. So if he reaches his top, the arc of his skill, he's an incredibly strong player, and it can be hard to deal with because he takes really big chances, and it's, that's hard to play against. No matter how good you are, it's hard to predict exactly how nothing plays when he plays his best. But when he falls lower than that, then Cloud9 start to struggle.
I feel with Jordan, it's all in his head. He needs the stars to be aligned. He needs to have no pressure. He needs to be in a team that's playing in just a certain way. And as you say, because at that point he can be, top 5 player in the world on his day. But his day has, it's like sunshine in the UK. It doesn't come often enough.
Yes, that's a good analogy.
But we'll see. 15-0, half time. And we've got 25 seconds left of this. I mean, for Fnatic, they'll have watched this. There'll be little they can take from it, other than knowing that the game against Hellraiser is now well and truly out of the Cloud9 system.
But that is actually a good point, because obviously Cloud9 haven't been forced to show anything just yet, and especially not on the CT side, we don't get to show that much either. If they'd started on the terror side, maybe Cloud9 would have shown I mean, they probably wouldn't have, but if they felt they had to, they would have been forced to show a couple of tricks, and Fnatic could try and pick up on it. If they end up playing cash against Fnatic, that could be a big deal. But I think you're right. Fnatic right now have really no idea if Cloud9 have anything special in store, they won't have used it here.
It's going to be a hell of a game. It's coming up after this. Our Bravado about to launch the most spectacular of comebacks. Or will Cloud9 finish off the South African romance? Anders, take us away.
Well, it's the Glock train towards the B bomb site, and Cloud9, they're just running and gunning, which is what you're supposed to do in this point. Deviant trying to hit the headshots, 2 bullets left. They almost line up, but he's going to run back into the site. Not quick enough. It's now a 1-on-2 as nothing is the last man standing here against Sent and Black Poison. He's only got the Glock, and they're slowly whittling him down, and I think somehow, as a sixth sense, he realized there might be something going on in the vents. He even switched to burst fire just to make sure that might have happened. And he's got plenty of time here, nothing to try and clutch it, make it a triple for himself, and 16-0 Bravado here.
Goes over towards those vents, goes for the first frag. It's going to be Black Poison who takes him on. Wonders if he's going to get flanked. Oh, and walks straight into a headshot. Bravado are on the board, and the comeback is real.
I wish we could get a crowd shot, be like 3 Bravado fans just, excitedly cheering, ready for the full comeback. I doubt it, but it doesn't mean this isn't valuable for them anyway. They, like you said, this is the group stage. You lose this game, they're out of the tournament. So they want as much out of it as they can get. If that includes getting another 5 rounds on the board here, that'd be great for them. They have more stuff they can look at once they get back home, more intel about what they did wrong and right and everything else. So this is not for nothing.
This is Bravado's opportunity to shine. How often do you get to come to such an event and compete with such a field of top international pros? And, Semfis and Sean Garris want to end that sentiment very, very quickly. They get the opening 2 frags with their CZs and will move in. Low health on the pair of them, 27 and 29 against the 3 fully health, famous bearing South Africans. But bomb planted, nevertheless, and Black Poison goes down. Running out of Bravado players now, and we're down to just Rachno, 1 versus 4. Low health across the board, but he is going to have to deliver something spectacular. They're going to charge him down, are they? Sean Garris is, sorry, Semfis is going to be down. Next man walks onto the end of that Famous as well, which is Sean Garris. 2 versus 1, but so little time left on that bomb.
That will be the end. Rachno going down 16-1 in favor of Cloud9. Nothing in the